Coming up, I'm going to tell you the 2 most important metrics you should be thinking about during your pre-launch. Stay tuned. What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com, the place you go when you want action-packed content in the app business. And today, it's a series of videos that we're about to create concerning pre-launch or soft launch. And this is especially important if you're a first-time developer. If you've been in the space for a very long time, you know it, you kind of know what works already. You know, there's certain metrics that you're going to focus on already, like retention, lifetime value. You're going to figure out how much money you're going to be able to generate per user, like monthly active user or average revenue per user. So you can figure out, okay, how much can you spend to acquire that user? But for the beginners out there, for the startups creating their first or second app, well, this is especially important. These 2 metrics are going to be especially important. Okay, here you go. Number 1, the most important thing is usability. Okay, usability. This is something that is so important. So many times I'm faced with developers who are doing it for the first time and their designs are shit ugly and their usability is horrible, right? So really invest some money and time getting the right designer. It's gonna be critical to get an Apple feature to just get your app well out there and succeed, okay? So usability, and here's what you can do. Go to a site called usertesting.com, usertesting.com, where you can hire people for under $100 to say, here's my app, test it out, and then use it, right? And talk through it. So they'll be like clicking here, you can see what they're thinking and you can hear what they're thinking and see what they're doing. So make sure they're going through the proper steps that you want them to go through, okay? That's the first metric. Number 2, retention, okay? So typically what you want to do is soft launch in a smaller country like the Philippines, Norway, these smaller European countries, Denmark, those type of countries, and do a soft launch on there. And what those countries are good for is they replicate how the Western countries would act like. So the United States, Canada, UK, all that stuff, all the bigger countries that you want to target, they're going to replicate it and you can drive low cost acquisitions, especially through the Philippines, for example, right? And this is where you're trying to figure out, okay, what are people doing? How long are they retaining? Maybe getting 1,000 users, trying to get your first 1,000 and seeing how well you retain them. Because that's going to be so stinking key to how well you can monetize. Too many times we think about monetization first rather than retention first. And it's one of the key things that I remember from my interview when I was interviewing the Crossy Road creator. And he said, I was like, how are you going to monetize? He's like, I didn't even care about that for the first 2 months when I was soft launching. All I cared about was retention because I'll figure out monetization once I figured out retention. So those 2 key metrics. All right, to summarize, number 1, usability. Are people using the app that you want them to use it? Are they tapping through the right screens and the right buttons, swiping, doing all the things that you want them to do? Are they doing that? And number 2, are they coming back to the app? Because forget about monetization if they're not coming back, if they're not even opening it, or if they're opening it and they're just falling off. So have some metrics in place, have some analytics in place, and it's easy as having Google Analytics in place to then start tracking that retention. All right. Hope that was helpful. And in the next video series, we're going to be talking about how to get more beta users. So we talked about the importance of soft launching. Now, how do you get beta users? And I'll share that with you in the next video. So stay tuned. Lastly, guys, I do want to ask you, if you are liking these videos, make sure you hit subscribe and do all the things like it on YouTube as well. Go check out App Masters Academy. We are building out this full course of how you properly soft launch. All right, guys, that's it. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.